Hi there, my name is Luke, and this video is to introduce the production department, which sits under the design platform team. The team is made up of myself, lead production designer, and Sophia, another production designer. And in this video, I'm going to talk about what production design is, how to work with us, and show you a list of our services. If you have any questions, you can reach out in the production design Slack channel. And if you'd like to make a request for one of our services, you can fill out this form available at this link. Let's get started. Production design first started at printing presses. Whenever a designer would submit a book or a booklet to a printing press, the file would need to be reworked to print the pages in the proper order on a press. As illustrated here, you can see the order isn't necessarily the print order. You can think of it as a production designer as a technician for the file. So we started off taking the work from the designer to the press, and in a digital environment, production designers do the same thing. We help with the handoff between the designer and the programmer. A production designer will, with a laser sharp eye, go through every single layer and make sure that everything is pixel perfect using the right colors. We also can code a little bit so we can easily speak the language of the engineers and deliver what they need the first time. That way the designer can go back to designing and the programmer can receive what they need efficiently. In this workflow too, the production designer is responsible for any Q&A, being the designer's representative, and any decisions that need to be made resulting from this process will be shown to the designer to get the final okay. Production design does not make final calls, just recommendations, and helps facilitate the handoff. Normally, production design is incorporated into every designer's job, but at larger companies, specialists appear so that way designers can keep doing what they love designing. You get the point. In a UX environment, production designers help out with maintaining a library, documenting comments, resolving comments, and doing any work that's kind of repetitive or nitty-gritty, so that way the designers can think about the how and the why of the components, and production designers can distribute the new components to the team and do the day-to-day maintenance of the components. I'm going to give a couple more metaphors about what production design is. Essentially, think of us like an IT department, but instead of fixing issues for your computer, we'll fix issues inside of the file itself. In the workflow where it's handing off designs to a programmer, think of us like a sous chef. We know how to cook, but the actual content of what's on the plate is done by the cook. So in the phrase, too many cooks in the kitchen, we're not going to be a cook, but more of a supporting role who knows the process. Working with a component library, think of us as librarians. In a librarian has a very general knowledge of lots of subjects, and when you're looking for something, they can tell you where to find it and give you a general description and the history of how that book got to the library. As far as what's in the book, that's more for the author or UX designer in this case. Also, when new books come to a library, the librarian will shelve them in their proper place and maybe advertise some new releases for the patrons. So same thing with a component library. The distribution, education, and advertising around new components in a library falls within production design. Here's some of our services. If you've recently designed a set of components and need auto layout, we can handle that for you. We can reformat or create a component library based off of a design system that you've created recently. A quick example that I saw, this is the Denali color file, and we have some nice layouts to reformat this so you can see the dark mode and the light mode all together. We do workflow consulting. Think about it as like an ergonomics session. We observe your workflow and then we can provide some shortcuts and micro automations as needed. The team will be offering Figma training, so if you're new to Figma or need brushing up, we'll have a variety of topics that we'll be teaching. Auto layout, for example. We can do component replacement. So let's say you're designing a new feature and you weren't using the design system, or the design system has been created or updated after you created that file. We'll go ahead and flow in the components for you. If you need an audit for a project, you can give us the scope and we'll go through and take screenshots or collect files as needed. We can provide QA specs, create Figma templates for what's in production, or if something hasn't been created yet, we can handle that for you. SVG optimization, if there's a new process where you have to deliver SVGs consistently and you need to go into the code to fix a couple things, we can handle that for you and facilitate the handoff to the engineer. And finally, micro automations or batch processing. Think Excel macros or Photoshop actions, but for anything. For example, Tara on the recruiting team always needs to go back into Workday and it deauthorizes pretty often. So I made a keyboard shortcut where she can push one button and it'll automatically go to Okta and log in for her and go to the specific page that she set. If you have any questions, jump in the production design channel or reach out and we'd be happy to answer them. Thanks so much.